A mother's heartache turning into a local and then hopefully a national cause. A rising politician meets with his mentally ill son at a public restaurant. An argument ensues, and the father is brutally murdered, the motive unknown. This is the harsh reality of mental illness in this country, the insidious disease that we, for some reason, want to avoid talking about and believe we are handcuffed to do anything about. Not if a devoted wife and concerned mother has anything to say about it. She's the mother of Cathy Costello, the wife of former Oklahoma Labor Commissioner Mark Costello, seeking to be appointed by the governor of Oklahoma to her husband's seat and then bearing down hard on the issue of mental illness. Let's welcome Cathy Costello to the Hardline. Cathy, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and please, from all of us here, our condolences first on what is a very difficult time for you and your family.
Thank you, Ed. I'm grateful for your kind words, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak with you and your audience this evening.
In mid-August, your son met your husband at a restaurant, accused of now fatally stabbing his dad. It was an ice cream store, apparently. He is still being held in jail on a murder complaint. Since that moment, have you been able to unravel any reason why this happened?
Well, absolutely. I do know the reason, and I do need to make a correction. There wasn't an argument. I had actually gone to dinner with my husband and my son. The reason is because my son was suffering from psychosis and severe paranoia. Believes that Mark was going to have him arrested, and believes that there was something evil about us and that we were spying. It's the story of mental illness. It's the story of people who don't stay on their medication. And in fact, at dinner, while we were eating, he stopped and looked at us and said, "I quit taking my medication." And Mark and I knew immediately, because we've been in an 8-year struggle of trying to help our son with his mental illness, that this was not a good sign. And this is a common problem and a common issue with people who suffer mental illness, that the very thing that can help keep their neurotransmitters in their brain balanced, keep them working, keep them in a good relationship with family and friends, they are not well enough oftentimes to be consistent with their medication. And this was just happened to be the right time, at the right place, unmedicated. And that's basically what happened.
Then if you're able to be appointed to your husband's seat, what is it that you hope to do? How do you hope to turn the tide of people who don't look at mental illness as what it is, a debilitating, insidious disease in this country?
It is a debilitating disease. And here's the thing about what's getting ready to do in the second term. Because I've been married to him for 33 years, we did everything together, even discussing every policy, every move that he made at the Labor Department. This does affect the workforce. We have 1 in 5 Oklahomans who suffer with mental illness. People with mental illness have an unemployment rate of 85%. Therefore, the impact to our economy, even on a national level, $36 billion a year. The job of a labor commissioner is to ensure opportunities for the wage earner to access to have good income. Well, the workforce that's ill cannot contribute to our society, to our community, culturally, emotionally, or otherwise.
Let me stop you there if I can for a second, Cathy.
Yes.
I got about 90 seconds left, but this is a key point then. What about the stigma of people who are afraid of being marked as mentally ill? How do you get past that? How do you bring them into a fold and help them while at the same time not hitting them with a tag that they feel will damage the rest of their lives?
Well, we need education. We need to empower families. We need to get the government out of the way. I've had an unbelievably overwhelming number of legislators, heads of agencies, people who work in high offices lean over and whisper in my ear constantly since my husband was murdered, "I have mental illness in my family." I heard it today. I heard it last week when I was canceling our Southwest airline tickets. We were supposed to fly to Washington, D.C. I've heard it consistently. So we do need education. We need to start talking about it. Mental illness affects every family in the state and in this country.
Because you are so close to it, again, we want to stay in touch with this story, but I got about 30 seconds left. I know that you have asked the governor to appoint you to this seat. When will we know if he will take this action?
Well, the governor, who's been nothing but kind and supportive of me and my family, and I'm grateful to her for that, has told me directly that she will be making a decision the end of September.
All right. Now, do us a favor, please. This is a huge issue. It's something that affects, as you pointed out, so many millions of people. We're going to stay in touch here. I wish you luck in getting this position because it has affected you and your family so intimately, and it's been made such a passionate issue by you. I think that you'd be the perfect person to look into this and try and make a change. So please, let's stay in touch. We'll have you back on again, hopefully when you are appointed. Cathy, we thank you so much for your time, for your strength. We'll look forward to being in touch again.
Thank you, Ed.
My pleasure. Coming up next, the political animal chews into Carly's task, the Donald's defense, and who will be heading for the recliner after the Wednesday night debate. Stay here. The fastest 60 minutes in news continues.